So where you're seeking cash flow finance to pay your day-to-day obligations is clearly a warning sign. If you are sort of agitating for debtor payments, you're not utilising someone like yourself who does cash flow management and services. That gap. One thing is, we've had we were talking to a labour hire company recently where they're paying their clients monthly, and they're receiving up to 180 days with a large multinational mining companies. They're going, invoice financing is one solution, but it obviously comes at a cost as well. I guess the overarching advice I would say to small business: it's tough out there. It's really tough out there. Putting your head in the sand, the problem actually won't go away and will actually exacerbate and become worse. Coming to us early, we can provide cheaper and much more effective solutions, take away the stress. I mean, as I always say, as a PAYG, you sleep like a baby. As a director of a company, it's a hard gig. Where else can you go insolvent or lose your personal assets? You're constantly worried. You pay yourself last. It's a tough gig, but there is support out there to prevention rather than cure. Get in early. Don't have the angst. Yeah.
The most important thing that I look at, realistically, and you talked about average debtor days and average creditor days. And for the average punter, they go, well, I'm not quite sure how that looks. And what I know is that at Assure Global Plus, when we're talking to people, we're really saying, hey, if you're noticing a change, a lengthening of the time that it takes for you to receive your money, and you're actually starting to stretch out when you're paying money, chances are that's probably your first warning sign that there might be a problem, and that you should be talking to somebody with some expertise about that. Now, whether that's asking your accountant, whether that's asking your bookkeeper, whether that's asking a whole range of financial experts that you have around you, or your lawyer, or even at the barbecue, hey, let's have this conversation. Because if we don't start paying attention to those types of signals, we invariably can find ourselves in a dark place very quickly, because it's not just about our business not doing well, our sense of self-worth gets impacted as well.
The structuring side of a business is something I'm very, very passionate about. I mean, how many times we see a sole trader with an ABN sole trader or a partnership come forth, and they've experienced the same difficulties that a small business company might have experienced, but because they haven't had the appropriate structure set up, unfortunately, they're facing personal insolvency or personal liability, when if they'd had a company set up in the first place, there's so much more we can do to assist them. So it's never too late to review your structure. Things like if you put money into a company, I would say almost 99 out of 100 of credit loans on balance sheets aren't secured and aren't documented. So if anything goes wrong, that you rank as an unsecured creditor come at the bottom of the line. There's so many little things we can do around structuring, around successive director resolutions and loan and security agreements to really protect that business, and so you can keep your home and keep your business going. And it's what's the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Get it right the first time, but also because you've been a sole trader for 12 months or 2 years or 5 years doesn't mean we can't get it right for you. We do business valuations, we do sale events, we can do it legally, so there is no phoenixing or any potential illegal activities. You always follow the law, you value, you pay consideration, you document, you do things legally. No assets move without being commercial prices. But then you put yourself in a position where you can sleep at night, nothing if anything goes wrong.
And that's the difficult part when you're starting out in business, isn't it? Is you normally go out on your own and you're a sole trader to start with, and you get it there, and you might have a young family, so you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to make sure everything's working, and then that's when it sort of starts to weigh down on you a little bit, when you start seeing it impact how you're interacting with your family, how all those things happen. So you're 100% right, getting those structures in place and paying attention to some of that little detail that we just find boring as a general rule. How do we actually sort of move our way forward to make sure that we've got the best chance for success?
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely.
Excellent. Is there anything else you could think of that you would talk to a small business about right from the start? Let's say it is just a small trade business, for instance, and they go, hey, look, I think I have some issues. What should I do? How should I get myself organised to prepare for a conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say make sure you lodge all your taxation obligations and have your financial reporting up to date. Not knowing there's no excuse, and it does incur liability. I'd also say seek the expertise that's available from advisors out there, such as don't allow your debts to go out. Engage yourself, Michael, to make sure that your cash flow is king. It always has been in business. Get your structures right. Talk to your accountant. Talk to advisors like ourselves to make sure everything's put in place. Like a loan and security agreement, you put a PPSR over your credit loans, and you get paid before the ATO and any other unsecured creditors. Those legal avenues are available, but without the proper advice, I always say with accountants, don't see them as a cost centre, but see them as part of your business. And that mindset differentiate, you get so much better resources, advice about protecting. So reach out, don't put your head in the sand. Reach out to the to advisors that are there to help, and don't defer what can be done today, because it doesn't get any easier. That's probably the three things I'd say.
Well said, well said. So look, just to wrap up, there's an awful lot of information that you've talked about today, which is great. Some people might not know all of the industry jargon that's come through in our little conversation today. The best way is, if you've got a question, you're interested in learning more, or you just want some clarification around those things, please don't hesitate to reach out to Assure Global Plus, and we'll help you connect wherever we can. Thank you.
Thank you.